Well, happy Thursday, everybody. It's Brian, and today we're doing entry video for the, the Pro Street and Gasser group build that's hosted by Mr. Dylan over NYS Modeling. This is going to be, I believe, his third year in a row doing that, so that's kind of cool. It's a year of threes. We had the third anniversary of us actually participating in the 40-hour group build just last week, and now it's the third anniversary of the Pro Street / Gasser group build that Mr. Dillon's hosting. So yeah, it's kind of fun to have all that sort of syncing up together. So what are we doing? We are doing the MALCO Gasser. So didn't know this until I just did some research a few minutes ago. MALCO is actually a cleaner, a company that produces cleaning chemicals and waxes and stuff like that for automotive use. So I think I was getting MALCO mixed up with Matco, which is a tool company. So yeah, I'm still kind of a newbie when it comes to vintage race car sponsors and stuff like that. So did a little bit of research on that and found out that this is actually still around, and it's located in Ohio. So that's kind of a cool thing. I'm glad to see something like that that's still around, that was created back in the 50s. Anyway, I digress. Box art shows that we have a nicely detailed interior. Just kidding, there's nothing in there. A cool looking roll bar, and then chassis and all that kind of jazz. And then we're also using the single overhead cam Ford engine, which is blurry. There we go. It's the 427, so it's a single overhead cam. So that means that our spark plugs are going to be up on the top there. That's right. That's, according to my research, that's where those are supposed to be. And funnily enough, I did do a little bit of reading about the car itself, because sadly on the box art there is nothing on here or in the instructions to actually talk about the car itself, other than that it was a champion car. So I did a little bit of research on the car and found out that the car itself is being held in what they call a vault in Southern California, and was due to be restored. And the car entered the racing circuit in 1967. And then in that particular car, Ohio George went on to set about 5 different records for the NHRA. There's too many letters. Yeah, fascinating stuff. And apparently the car did so well that he permanently retired his Wild Willies that he was running. So yeah, the car was doing really well, and then I guess it was replaced in '73 with another Mustang, a red one, of course. But yeah, decal sheet pretty minimal, which I'm super liking. And I love how it says passenger side and driver side. I might actually put those on the car, but just to see if anybody notices. But yeah, not a bad looking kit for its vintage. It's obviously a repop. I'm not sure what edition this one is. I did buy it about 2 years ago. But I tell you what, guys, I just love that super radius on the rear wheel arch. I'm like, you know what? If I just primer the body and put this up on jack stands, like in a shop scene or something, I'll be happy with that, because that just looks awesome. I know it's supposed to be Gasser, but I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, you know, if we glued the front clip onto the actual body, I mean, that would just be the sweetest looking Pro Street type of thing, right? Anyway, I digress. Yeah, the front clip looks like it's supposed to be one gigantic piece of fiberglass, and it seems to be represented fairly well in this form. So I mean, as soon as I opened the box and took a look inside, I'm like, yeah, that's got to be a fiberglass hood. Not to mention the fact that it's a forward flip nose. But basic roll cage, not bad looking. Goes just like that. And then I think that a huge selling point for me on the kit was these tires. These are the Racemaster pad printed tires by our friends over at AMT/MPC. And I think what also sold me on it was the fact that we have actual rubber front tires rather than just the little plasticky guys that they kind of sneak in as a what do they call it? Some sort of vintage type of oh yeah, a nostalgia type of thing. But I'm like, I don't want nostalgia, I want something that's gonna look good. But all the parts and stuff have a little bit of flash, a little bit of mold cleanup on there, but again, vintage kit, so or vintage mold, I should say. So yeah, we spend most of our time just cleaning parts probably. The intention is to build the car as it is on the box art, so I'll need to find a nice color to match. I don't think this is a very good representation of that color. I've seen some photographs where it looks a little bit darker, a little bit deeper blue, but it could also be one of those metallic colors that, depending on the light source, will give you a different shade every time you photograph it. And we're going to pull back here for a second. And our chrome, we got 2 giant chrome trees, which we will probably end up stripping about 90% of that. Because the front grille here, I don't know if it has an insert or not, but it's painted black on the box art. And I might just strip the whole thing black, strip the whole thing back, paint it black, and then just go around the edge with a Molotow pen to give us that chrome lip around the shark mouth. And then I might keep the pipes chrome. Wait, actually, it doesn't use these pipes, does it? No, it doesn't. Oh, cool. I get to put those in the parts box. Sweet. But yeah, I mean, these definitely should be stripped and made like a magnesium color or some jazz, the front wheels. So that's the plan there. And then, of course, a tiny little fret of transparent pieces here and there. So there we go. So interesting. I'm curious to see how many parts in this kit are actually going to be used and how many parts are just there because they're there and they didn't get gated off or whatever. But yeah, fascinating history about the car. I love it when I buy a kit and it catches my eye. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And I'll just get that just because it's a slick looking subject, you know. And then you start doing a little bit of reading and a little bit of research and find out, hey, this is actually a big deal for a Ford. I look forward to your comments. But yeah, we're going to get started on this on Saturday, which is August 1st. That's the beginning of the whole thing. And I think it goes to October 1st, if I'm not mistaken. So we got a little bit of time. I am struggling a bit with other group builds because they're open-ended. And apparently I still don't do well with open-ended deadlines. So, you know, be that as it may. And I apologize about this running on a little long because I have had a lot of coffee and it's early in the day. So, all right, there you have it, guys. Thanks again, Dylan, for hosting this. I'm really looking forward to getting into this guy here. And again, thank you for opening it up to the Gasser Group build, guys. So, all right, y'all, take it easy, and we'll talk to you a little bit later on because we got another video planned for today. Bye now.